Hi, my name is Crystal Riles, and I'm applying to the Master's of Education in an Administration program at Sam Houston State University. I'm going to tell you about myself and my experiences that would make me a good candidate for the program. I grew up in an economically disadvantaged household raised by a single mom. My mom did not attend high school, nor did she graduate from high school. I was the first in my family to graduate from high school. When I graduated from high school, there weren't many funds available for me to attend college. Therefore, I enlisted in the military and I served in the United States Air Force for 4 years. After discharging from the military, I obtained my bachelor's degree from the University of Houston. Shortly after, I began teaching in Houston ISD at Durkee Elementary. I taught 5th grade math at Durkee Elementary for 2 years. I was the math team lead and I was rated highly effective on my summative rating each year. My students achieved 86% mastery on the STAR exam. Shortly after, I transferred to Aldine Independent School District and I began teaching 5th grade math and 6th grade math. Currently, I teach 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade math intervention at Garcia Middle School in Aldine Independent School District. I primarily serve those students who are Tier 2 or Tier 3 according to the RTI model. The students I serve have deficits in math, and I work with those students in small groups in order to close those academic gaps. As a principal, you have to be mindful to the increasing diversity in student characteristics, including cultural backgrounds, immigration status, income disparities, physical and mental disabilities, and learning variations. You have to also make sure to be impartial and not to bear your stereotypes or your implicit biases because someone has a different cultural background than you or come from a different SES background than you. The question asks, how do you use reflection and thoughtfulness in your professional growth? I would like to say that I use reflection daily in my professional growth and I use it like on the spot. For example, I can't predict whether or not a student will be absent, whether or not the copy machine will be working, or whether or not a student will complete their homework. Therefore, I must plan for the unthinkable. I also like to plan for any misconceptions that I think may occur during my instructional lessons. I like to be also reflective in regards to whether or not a practice or a lesson that I taught was effective and whether or not all of my students mastered the lessons. If they didn't, I like to go back and I like to reteach and I like to scaffold my teaching and to make sure that my whatever practice that I'm using, that is research based and that is an effective practice and the students are benefiting from whatever it is that I am implementing in my classroom. Describe some effective school leadership practices. I like the ethical leadership practice, and that just means just treating everybody fair. And that goes from students, parents, and teachers. I also feel that in order to be an effective principal, you need to emphasize on cultural diversity in your school and to make sure that your teachers are staying up to date with professional growth and they are utilizing research-based instructional methods inside of the classrooms in order to increase academic achievement and academic excellence. As a principal, you should also want to motivate and equip the educators with everything that they need in order for them to be successful, to make sure that their students are also going to show effectiveness and academic achievement. Also, as a principal, you want to create a culture that pays attention to detail in order to achieve excellence. Not all students learn at the same level or at the same pace as other students. Therefore, there should be small groups that are geared towards those students who cannot learn the lesson in a whole group. There should be small groups that are reteaching skills that have already been taught maybe from years prior, 2 or 3 years prior, that this particular student did not master. You have to take all of that into consideration. Teachers should also, as a principal, you should make sure that your teachers are all on the same accord as you are and that the school should build a culture where leaders and teachers are committed to the mission and the vision of that school community.